Bunge la Wananchi and a sworn affidavit by John, Mark, and a few others that has been put to you, and they allege the following: that you failed Chapter 6 integrity test due to scandals including extramarital affairs and child support lawsuits that you have faced before. Number 2, financial impropriety. They allege that you're linked to Procter and Allen, a cereals company in financial distress that has defaulted 3.7 billion loan, raising doubts about your financial management capacity. Number 3, that you, Chair, lack a public record, and they allege that to implement key electoral reforms, you failed to do this as a chair of CIC, and in coming into office as a chair of IBC, there will be nothing new that you'll add. Number 4, they say that there's some conflict of interest, that perhaps you have some political patronage that bring in lack of integrity, and you may not be objective in a presidential election. Then finally, that you lack public trust due to these past controversies, including personal scandals and questionable appointments and financial disputes. What do you have in terms of response? Briefly, kindly.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm happy to respond to those. I did get the memorandum and I looked at it. Of course, this is a public process, and it's right of every Kenyan to make allegations. One would expect that any serious allegations would have some support. Now, when I go through this, the first one of personal morals and integrity are just allegations, and some. I saw a page from some newspaper, and that's all that it is, allegations. Whatever they talk about, they have really not given any substance, and I do not accept the allegations, and I think that's really, on that one, that's what I would say about it. The second one, and I think Procter and Allen, I have never had anything to do with the management of that company. I am a very small shareholder in an investment company which itself has shares in Procter and Allen. I have no direct links with Procter and Allen. So I don't know how I would answer that, because if you're talking about financial management, I've never been involved in the financial management of Procter and Allen. So I really don't know how that would be said to reflect financial impropriety. The allegation that I failed at CIC, I think it's insulting, not so much to myself, because I'm a candidate here and they're welcome to say what they wish to say about me. I think it's insulting to the people I worked with at CIC, the entire team, and all the other stakeholders, to say that we did nothing and achieved nothing at CIC. I think the work that CIC did is self-evident. So I think this is just an allegation, like all the others, meant to scandalize. Political patronage. I'm not sure which you referred to, because I saw two things. One, a statement about the manner in which I was appointed to the East African Court of Justice. To the best of my knowledge, that's the way the treaty has no details, and that's the way the manner I was appointed is the way all judges are appointed through their respective heads of state who sit in the summit, which is the appointing authority. The head of state nominates. And so unless the treaty is changed, I really don't think, and then unless every other person who has been appointed from Kenya to the East African Court of Justice has gone there by virtue of political patronage, which I think there is no evidence to that. Again, I think this is purely scandalous. The other thing, there was an allegation of me being related to somebody who they seem to know, that is going to be a presidential candidate. Something I don't know anything about. The person they mentioned is not my relative, so I really don't know how I would respond to it. Again, I think it's purely scandalous. I'm very clear in my mind that none of those allegations have any basis whatsoever. And really, Chair, unless members of the panel wish to ask me specific follow-up questions on that, which I will be happy to answer, I consider the entire memorandum as being motivated by ill will for reasons that I don't know, and not being supported by the truth. But if members have anything specific they wish to ask, I have no problem.
Any knowledge of you being a state candidate?
A state candidate for this job? No. I'm not sure what a state candidate is, but I made this decision to run. You know, Mr. Chairman, when somebody talks about a state candidate, they are actually insulting this panel. You're the people who are going to decide who among the people that you have interviewed you are going to recommend to the appointing authority. So the idea of a state candidate is foreign to me.
Your last question.
Thank you, Chairman. Justice Nyachae, there have been allegations by Bunge la Wananchi.
Yes.
In a memorandum that I'm certain that you have seen.
Yes.
Facts which have been disclosed to you earlier. That there was misappropriation while you were at CIC in the year 2015. That the Auditor General's report revealed that at that time, the Commission spent an excess of expenditure of 43 million in a budget of 306 million, which had been approved. That at the time you ended up spending about 349.8 million. Even though largely the amount was accounted for, they say that the 9.2 million was fraudulently paid for the supply of newspapers, a matter which they say to have been subject of criminal investigations. What is your response to these allegations that this panel has received in the form of a memorandum?
Sorry, I'm hearing this for the first time. Was that memorandum sent to me?